Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gashi's Kama TV. William Samoei Ruto is where Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi was in 1992. Moi was confronted by a resurgent opposition going by the name Ford. And he did not know what to do. And he had crafted a strategy of dividing Ford such that Matiba would vie and Jaramogi would vie, and then Kibaki would also vie. Unknown to many people is that one Martin Shikuku, who was the Ford Secretary General, was given a lot of money by the powers that be, and he was told to go and give money to opposition candidates so that they could vie using Matiba's party, that is Ford Asili. And the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. What we saw is that the opposition lost the election. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the opposition leaders is going to betray the others. Jesus told his disciples, one of you is going to betray me. Today, I put it to you that one of the opposition candidates is going to betray others. One of the opposition candidates is going to join William Samoei Ruto. The big question is, who is this candidate? Who is this person who is going to join William Samoei Ruto? Maybe you can put your comment in the comment section. You remember very well that William Samoei Ruto was even able to infiltrate Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's cabinet. And he actually nominated some of Uhuru's cabinet into his cabinet when he became the president of the Republic of Kenya. I think Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta did not know that some of his close allies were actually moles in his government. In the opposition, don't trust everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto is likely to pick his running mate from the current opposition groups. That is, he's likely to pick his running mate either from Kalonzo, Eugene Wamalwa, but Martha Karua would be the last option. And he could also go for Gachagua. But Gachagua, I'm sure, because he understands that even if he joins William Samoei Ruto, even if the courts were to say that his impeachment was unprocedural and he was to take over his office, he would go alone. Many of his supporters will not follow him. The option now remains with Wamalwa and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. I want to zero in on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Why Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka would be very, very attractive to be William Samoei Ruto's running mate. Why William Samoei Ruto would go for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as his deputy. This must be shocking to you, but in politics, it is about interest. In politics, it's about winning the next general elections. What we have in Kenya are politicians, not leaders. Leaders think about the next generation, but politicians think about the next election. That is why I'm saying the focus here is interest and the 2027 general elections. If you look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka at 74 would be a good deputy for William Samoei Ruto. Because if William Samoei Ruto was to win the elections, he would only go for 5 years, and in 2032, Kalonzo would be 79 years, and we would be ready to vie for the presidency at 79. But if he becomes a running mate for somebody else, say in the opposition, and this person goes for 2 terms, that is 10 years, this means Kalonzo will be 83 years when he'll be seeking the presidency. And you agree with me that it will be very, very hard for him to win the elections. Even campaigning, it will be very, very hard for him. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is about interest. When you look at the interest of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and those of William Samoei Ruto, they are somehow converging. Number 2 is money factor. Kalonzo is not very indulged Kalonzo has not stolen a lot of money. Kalonzo is not a man of deep pockets. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you think Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can be able to mount a presidential election like that was mounted by William Samoei Ruto or Raila Amolo Odinga? Do you think he can do it? If you look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, even when he is a opposition leader, visiting the country or parts of the country is a problem. When you look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, actually campaigning for him, organizing proper campaign, is a problem to him. So because of financial challenges, and because William Samoei Ruto has money, William Samoei Ruto is a multi-billionaire in terms of dollars. He can easily bail out Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and make him his running mate. Number 3, why Kalonzo would easily join Ruto is because of the entry of Matiang'i. Matiang'i comes up with a different approach. You know, Matiang'i was just going to his home yesterday, and it turned out to be a huge rally where everybody left what they were doing, everybody left their businesses and joined Matiang'i. So when you look at Matiang'i, he seems to be the person to beat. So when you look at Matiang'i, everybody seems to be for Matiang'i. And again, it is very clear that the mountain given Kalonzo and Matiang'i would easily vote for Matiang'i. And I think even somebody like Gachagua, I know Gachagua has a soft spot for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. That one I know. But going by the mood on the ground, I think the mountain would throw its weight behind this man. That is Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Same case applies to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is likely also to bail out Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Is also likely to throw his weight behind Fred Okengo Matiang'i. This will leave Kalonzo without much support. And therefore, William Samoei Ruto would easily call him, join me, my brother. Let's face this mountain together. There is also the issue of numbers. You know, Kalonzo is very attractive as a running mate. Compared to Kindiki, Kindiki has no numbers. I think it would be very, very easy to replace or to tell Kindiki, Nyumbani, and tell Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, come with your over 2 million votes. And who would not want this? And I think when you look at the opposition, the only person, other than now, Riggy G, the only person who has solid votes, in fact, assured of more than 2 million votes, is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So William Samoei Ruto will be very, very happy to have such a running mate. And Kindiki, Kindiki has nothing. I don't think Kindiki can even be able to get 200,000 from the mountain. The other thing is about the boredom in the opposition. Kalonzo has been in the opposition for long. Kalonzo wakashindwa 2013, wakashindwa 2017, wakashindwa 2022, and I think Kalonzo is bold. Ameboeka. Kalonzo ukimtazama utakubaliana nami, amepatwa na hali ya kukinaika, that is boredom, in the opposition. And when you look at him, you don't see the energy that we expect from an opposition leader. And this one tells us that he can easily join William Samoei Ruto. In fact, in politics, many people would try to defend this, but in politics, I tell you, there are no permanent enemies. Anything is possible. If somebody told you that Raila and Ruto would work together, you would not believe. If somebody told you that Riggy G would be impeached by William Samoei Ruto, you would not believe. Ladies and gentlemen, politics is a game of numbers. It's a game of possibilities. It is about interest. It's about winning the elections. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, Kalonzo would easily become William Samoei Ruto's running. I could be right. I could be wrong. Please put your comment in the comment section and remember to like the video. Have a blessed Saturday. Bye-bye.